do not want to look into those particular investment. We have minerals in Zambia. We have other alternative where we can get resources. So for me, I do stand on the fact that student loans should be forgiven. And more importantly, we should be pushing for laws or policies that ensures that people get to benefit from tertiary education for free. There are other countries within Africa that have managed to implement these particular policies. Tanzania, which is just close to us here, public universities, you get to get, everything is free. They pay for your tuition fees, right? They pay for this thing that we pay for, which other students who benefit from the loans, they have to pay back. But in other countries, they're doing it. Why are we failing as a country? So it's like, education is not our first priority. If it is indeed our priority, we can make modalities and avenues that supports that we have free access to education.
Nice. I've equally observed when you talk about even other countries are faring in this case, there are countries, especially across the European community, countries like Sweden, where you'd have the entire social system of the country, government's responsibility, so they would probably can replace your heart. It's not functioning well. But then taxes seems to be higher. So we turn to other alternatives, as you pointed.
Yes.
It means taxes eventually still be higher because then government will need to cater for these loans in other ways, meaning it's essentially going back to taxes and revenue collection, which people cannot afford again.
So, so when we talk of the machinery of government and how government should raise its resources, one of them is, of course, tax collection. The other thing is that you need to utilize the resources that we are having. Of course, it's another subject that we can talk about the whole day. But for me, I for one, I believe that the moment we are not honing the means of production, we are not going to support essential social services that should be given to people. That includes education.
They got for this current year.
Yeah.
What we've heard is that the 65 perhaps that was forfeited from 1/5 from so that was directed to students.
So, of course, there are question marks. Parliamentarians have been... What's on paper, but parliamentarians have been calling for a deposit slip. They haven't shared it with anyone. So all those factors should be considered.
Cost-effective and sustainability as well. How sustainable are these loans?
They're not sustainable. They're not sustainable. From a huge scale, from a country's perspective, we are saying loans are not sustainable. How then do you expect loans to be sustainable? To a young people, one, jobs are not available. Right?
That's
two, you're not preparing people based on their skills. In terms of job market right now, we are not having people working because that's their skill set. People are going for alternatives to survive. And as they are looking for survival, you're also looking for your cut as a government, which means you're not a fair government. And most of you who is even implementing that, maybe if we were to look who is in the board of the higher education scholarship and loans board, most of them will find that they benefited from the free education which was implemented from the period of the 1960s up until 2016, by the way, when we started having laws. But of course, those who started as of 2004 have been affected as well.
What would be your appeal and the solution to this?
My appeal, of course, is let's sit back, go back to the drawing board and look for alternatives on how we can raise resources as a country and ensure that there is free education across board. That is from primary, secondary, and tertiary education. Other countries have done it. We have done this before in Zambia. It's not the first time that it is happening. We need to place our priorities right as a country.
Let's quickly just look into the aspect of enrollment rates. Between genders, the male and female, we seem to have low rates of females participating, qualifying for these loans in tertiary schools.
I don't have the specific statistics on that, so I don't want to speak without with authority to statistics. So maybe I might not respond to that. So I don't have the numbers clearly.
As well.
So unless if you say generally speaking that we have few female beneficiaries from the loans, I think there are other dynamics that comes around. I think we did talk about the social and the cultural dynamics that comes at play with regards to one's education.
And do you think it's a suggestion? Do you think it would be right if we sort of, in this specific year, academic year, we just put it out to a certain province that has not so much been...
No, I think for me, we shouldn't be looking for alternatives that will continue creating inequality.
I see what you're
we
trying to
should
do.
be looking for alternatives that brings about inclusiveness. Right? So in implementation of new ideas, we should always be looking, how are we creating an inclusive kind of society where everyone gets to benefit, not really sidelining someone. Because you cannot solve a problem by creating a problem for someone else. We need to be solving problems that we are solving problem, not that we are creating problem for other people. Yeah. So I don't really subscribe to that of saying, no, we need first to focus on this province. Everyone is important. By the virtue and the fact that we are all citizens of this country, I think we all deserve that particular attention. Yeah.
It's been a wonderful interaction with you.
Thanks for having me here.
Have a part two. I see you have a lot to speak on, but so far we're glad that what you've shared is very insightful, and hopefully policymakers can tap into it.
We hope so, because they are benefiting right now. They are benefiting. I think there's no harm in reconsidering where we have gone wrong as a country, so that we can reverse the situation.
In one word, are they exploitative or not?
A loan, a debt are very exploitative and capitalistic in nature, so they are.
All right, that's from Cde Harry and his perception on today's topic, which is, are student loans exploitative? We'll be right back as we get to unfold with the show. Happy birthday to Movie TV.
Joey Mugando, live in Matero, and we're here to witness someone that's going for the Guinness Book of World Record, longest standing person dancing. And he has been here dancing for 3 months, 3 whole months, and now we are finally here to see him.